What is business? What is the business of physical therapy? What do we actually do? Some friends of mine, they're all practice owners, we had a discussion around this. And there were lots of different answers that came out. There was, well, we're in the business of helping people. Okay, that makes sense to me. We're in the business of providing value to our patients. We're in the business of providing a service that helps people run faster and jump higher and walk and play tennis. And all those were great responses. But we started to go deeper. What is business? And I just wanted to share with you what came out of that conversation. And this is my belief. You may agree with it, you may not. But in my experience, business is really about relationships. That's what business is. This isn't some high technical thing. This isn't some complicated thing. It's relationships. It's relationships with a minimum of 3 different parties. Some people will call these stakeholders or whatever corporate jargon you'll give it. But it's relationships with, number 1, your patients. It's relationships with your staff. And it's relationships with your referral partners or referral sources in your area, whether they're doctors or other types of people. And your ability to build and create and maintain relationships will determine the success of your practice. And that's what it was in my experience. I mean, when I started in business many years ago, I was great. I was successful to the point that I hired my first PT. And now that I look back, it was because I was great at building relationships with my patients. And then when I hired other people, they weren't as good as doing that. And I thought, well, why is that? Well, one of the reasons is because you're not taught in school how to do that. You're actually really not taught anywhere unless you really search for programs that can do that, that can teach you that ability to generate relationships. I also realized back then, I never saw doctors. I never wanted to go see them. So my business was all word of mouth, which was fine until I really wanted to start growing, and I realized I was losing a lot of potential business and helping and serving a lot of people because I didn't know how to develop relationships with potential referral partners. And then I really struggled building my team, and as I'm sure you know, your business is only as good as your team, as your staff, because I couldn't or didn't know how to build relationships, solid relationships with my staff. I don't know, it became this owner versus a staff deal or whatever you want to call it. And over time, I learned that the better I got at building relationships with people, the better my business got. The more money I made, the more time and flexibility and freedom that I share so much about. Business is relationships. Relationships is about developing trust, rapport, likability with each other. And if we spend a little more time wanting to understand people, wanting to engage with people, communicating and listening, asking questions, and building those bonds, I believe every aspect of your business and your life will improve. You may agree, you may not agree, that's okay. We all have a right to our opinions, but this has been my experience to simplify this whole complicated matter of how to grow your business. So that is food for thought. Increase your ability to build, create, and maintain relationships and increase your business.